Oh, we're live. Are we live? Live video is starting. Hey, we are live. What's up, my friends? Do you suck at laterals? Do you struggle to get to the line fast? Is the jammer getting around you and scoring you as a point? Uh, do you struggle as a blocker to get to the line where you need to be? Jammers, are you struggling to get around tough blockers and not scoring the points that you need to score? Look, this stuff is frustrating, right? It sucks to be a point at that last second or during that important jam. It's gut wrenching to not score points when you know that your team needs you to do it in those critical moments. And what ends up happening is you end up feeling like you're failing. And you want to be helpful and you want to be a confident part of your team, I'm guessing. Right? And I think one of the biggest things that we want is we want to know that our team can trust us. Right? We want to know that when we step on the track, our teammates are like, hell yes, I am so glad that I am on the track with this person, right? And we want to be that, and we want to be a contributing member. And so this is exactly what we're going to talk about today. So if you are watching the recording of this video, please comment below with recording so that I know that you watched this. And then if you are watching this live, please comment below with where you're watching from, because I would love to know. I see some people hopping on right now. Yes, Erica is like, yes, I want to do it. Well, you're in the right place, my friend. So we are going to dive into this. For those of you guys that don't know me, hi, my name is Chrissy Crash. I have been playing roller derby since 2006. I've played bank track. I've played flat track. I have played in WFTDA World Championships. I have won bank track championships. I've done a lot of stuff. I've also been a smoker, drinker, fast food eating, unhealthy bartender that had no idea how to train, no idea how to eat, and I managed to turn myself into a roller derby all-star. And so I just love running workshops like this because I love helping skaters get better at roller derby. I believe that the work that I do with Crash Course, our mission is really to help elevate the entire roller derby community and help make the game better all over the world. I have helped over 500 skaters level up their laterals and level up their game, and I am excited to help you do the same thing. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you the 6 keys to leveling up your laterals that you can implement now. Okay? And then at the end of this, if your head is spinning like, oh my God, how am I going to make all this happen? Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you in overwhelm. Okay? So I promise to point you in the direction of where you can go to get more guidance so you can implement this stuff. So I will make sure that you have everything that you need. So if you are ready, comment below with I'm ready, and we are going to get this party started. All right, so here we go. There are 6 keys to leveling up your laterals and becoming a force on the track. Okay, the first one is to up-level your edges. Okay, there's certain moves that we can use. Obviously, when we're doing like a lateral glide across the track, it's one thing to just kind of do a lateral glide and then stop. Like, I feel like what happens for most of us when we're at practice, I don't have my skates on right now, so we're just, because I have other things to show you that are non-skate related. But what happens a lot of times at practice is we do this thing where we're like, okay, I'm going to do this lateral movement, right? And we go like this. We go, and then we just stop. Like we just stop, right? It's a very slow movement, and we get frustrated because we're not getting there quick enough. So one of the things that you can do is, I think that power slides are a really, really great move that if you practice them and master them will help you a lot in your laterals, right? Because think about what you're doing if you're doing a power slide. You're in this position and you're gonna stop like this, right? So we have our feet in a perpendicular, like a T-shaped position like this. Now, if you practice doing power slides enough, what's going to happen is when you get really good at that sliding into a stopping motion, this is essentially what you're doing inside of a lateral move. Now, obviously with a lateral move, you're keeping your butt forward, right? You're keeping your butt forward. You're keeping your chest up and you're facing forward, and your one foot is going and the other one's going to stop. But if you build up the muscle of being able to do power slides at speed, that edge, that powerful stop is going to translate into your laterals. So if you want something that you can work on to start building the muscles and the confidence in order to be able to do laterals at speed, focusing on doing reps of power slides is really, really helpful. Okay? The second piece, let me go back to my notes. So the second piece is strengthening your core on one leg. Okay, because obviously when we're in a power slide position, I'm gonna find a good place for you. We're gonna come over here. Obviously when we're in a power slide position, what are we doing? We're like this, right? You're like, maybe you've got this foot going this way and we're gliding in that direction. Obviously we're doing it low in a derby position, but we're gliding in this direction. Now, that means that you need to be comfortable with whatever is going to happen on the track while you're on one foot, right? So you need to have the core strength. And when we talk about core, I don't mean just abs. Core strength involves your adductors, meaning the inside, the adductors, meaning the inside of your legs, and zips all the way up, right? So it's important that we're strengthening these skills. If you can't sit here and go like this, and like this, and like this, and like this, my guess is you are not very good at laterals. So one move that you can do that's really helpful is you can actually just do a side kick. So you can do a squat into a side kick. So squat, kick. Woo! Again, squat, kick. What we're doing, and you can do them each side, is we're building up the adductor strength, we're building up the core strength so that everything sucks in, and as you're going side to side, you'll be able to stop, right? You'll be able to maintain whatever's going to happen as you're on one foot trying to move laterally. It's going to help you keep from falling down, and it's going to help you from getting there faster, okay? So, side kicks. Do it one more time. All you have to do is literally this. Squat, kick. Squat, kick. Squat, kick. And as you get better at them, what you'll do is you'll alternate sides. Alternate sides. Instead of doing all on one side, you'll alternate from side to side. Okay? Number three is single leg strength for a powerful push. So in order to have really powerful pushes in our laterals, you want to make sure that you have not just balance on a single leg, but that you actually have strength to push from side to side. Okay, so one of my favorites for this is the lateral lunge. When we're doing our lateral lunge, dropping down into that deep squat, pushing the booty back, and then popping out of it. Down, pop, down, pop, down, pop. It's a really great way to build single leg strength that translates into moving laterally across the track. Okay, same thing. Do 3 sets of 15 is great. Do it a couple times a week. It's going to change your freaking game. Okay, the next one is obviously if we're moving laterally across the track, one of the things you're going to need is you're going to need open hips, right? It's hard to move laterally if you can't get your hips open. So another important one is the yogi squat. Yogi squat means getting our feet wider than hip width distance apart, sitting your butt down in between, and then you can kind of rock side to side so you can get your butt down in there. Chest up, butt down, elbows into your knees, and just sway side to side. This is something I do probably 3 times a day. Just throughout the day. I do it when I wake up in the morning. I do it before a workout. I'm doing it right now. But this is a really, really great way to start opening up those hips. Okay? So getting that in a couple times a day is going to allow you to open a lot easier. Okay? Alrighty. And number 5 is practicing at speed. And the key with this is when we're focusing on laterals, whether you're a jammer that's hitting the back of the pack and you need to do a fast stop and move side to side, or you're a blocker that's trying to quickly get to the line, one of the biggest things I think is important is doing things that make you uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but the reason that I got my name, like Chrissy Crash, is not about actually making other people crash. It's because I used to eat shit all the time. Because I would just go for it. And the way that I got better at doing things was by going for it. So if you're someone who's afraid of doing these things at speed, then because it's most of the time it's because you're afraid of two things. One, you're afraid of falling. Two, you're afraid of looking stupid because you fell. Okay? So these are two things that we really need to work on. Number one, getting comfortable with falling. If you're someone who is not comfortable with falling, this is the reason why falls and sprawls and things like that are part of your minimum skills. Because the ability to fall with grace is a skill. But what happens is after we pass minimum skills, all of a sudden we're not being forced to fall anymore. So we almost lose our comfort with falling. Okay, so what I really encourage you to do is, number one, get more comfortable with falling. Make sure your knee taps are great. Make sure your 4 points are great. And then at the same time, start practicing this stuff at speed and just be okay with the fact that you're going to go down. Because it's how you're going to get better. Okay, to get faster, you have to go faster. Okay? Awesome. Checking the comments. Yes! Adriana says, I'm afraid of falling and looking stupid. That's exactly it. You have to be a great athlete, you have to give less fucks, right? You have to let go of this fear of looking good or looking bad, because the only way that you're going to look really good in the long run is by kicking ass. And the only way to get there is by being a beginner and falling on your ass all the time. Yes. Tanya says, I'll be doing these today. Amazing. Okay. So be willing to fall. Falling needs to be something that is no longer a big deal to you. Okay? Practice just throwing yourself on the floor. I don't care. I actually grew up as a goalkeeper in soccer. And so for me, falling was a very natural part of my life. I was diving onto the ground all the time. I had a very intimate relationship with hitting the ground. And I think that's something for me personally that allowed me to excel in roller derby, because I was so comfortable falling that I was willing to do stuff and eat shit. And so for you, whatever you need to do to get good and comfortable at falling, you need to start doing it. Put yourself on the floor, okay? And then be willing to go faster, let go of your ego, and just go for it. And then the final one, I think this is a super, super important one, because none of the other ones matter if you don't do this. Number 6 is setting intentional goals for practice and workouts, okay? Don't just show up to practice and hope your laterals are gonna get better, okay? You have to intentionally say, okay, I'm going up to practice today, and I'm setting my goal. My goal today is to focus on my lateral movements, right? So during warm-ups, thinking about how intentionally you're doing them. During jams, during scrimmages, during whatever drills you guys are working on. Really just in your head be thinking about your lateral movements and how you're doing them and intentionally doing them. I really recommend tell someone at practice that this is what your focus is for the day. In fact, if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to get on a team or go from C to B or B to A or get on the travel team, tell your coach, be like, hey, I just want to let you know this is my key focus for today. Because then, number one, they'll give you feedback. But number two, they're like, wow, that's so impressive. This person is working on their own things inside their head aside from what they're teaching them. That's a serious skater that I want on my team, right? And then the second piece of this is not just the intentional stuff that you're doing at practice, but also in your workouts. In your workouts, you need to be using visualization to imagine how this stuff is connecting to what you're doing on the track. Because the mind-body connection is actually really strong. And so if during your workout, you're practicing and you're thinking, okay, when I'm doing this lateral lunge, I'm imagining how this is gonna translate into my movement on the track. What this does is in your brain, not only are you getting exercise, but you're actually, in your brain thinks you're doing that thing. Your brain thinks you're doing the on skates thing. Like a really great example of this, yesterday, one of my finishers during my workout was walking lunges, and I was fucking exhausted at the end of my workout. And so what I imagined, because they were weighted with dumbbells and I was doing walking lunges, and I imagined that each step forward was me pushing the wall a little bit more. And so in my head, my brain was practicing how to go hard in those moments of pushing the wall with heavy resistance in front of me. Right? So not only am I getting the physical practice, but I'm also getting the mental practice as well. Okay? So Comment below. What's resonating with you? I'm curious. What's resonating with you about what I'm saying? What are you hearing for yourself? What are you like, yep, that's the thing that I need to work on? Sin says, yep, 100% on intention. Yes. So Sin is our head coach. She says, I say this so much to our athletes. What kind of player do you want to be every time you set foot on the track? Yep. Or on the mat for a workout. Exactly. Perfect. Adriana, all these things you're saying sound like me. You know me better than myself. Taking notes. Adriana, I know you because I once was you. Hi, Martian. Awesome. So yeah, comment below what's resonating with you on this stuff. And what I challenge you to do is take away from this what's one or two things that you're going to be working on coming out of this workshop. Okay? My intention is always to keep these very short and actionable, and the key is you got to do this stuff, right? Because one of the number one things I hear from my clients in Crash Course, even in their very first week or very first 4 weeks, is they can't believe how much quicker their movements are on the track, right? And so that just comes from consistency. The reason that they get epic results is because, one, our workouts are super awesome and derby specific, but most importantly, because they're actually being done. Okay, the accountability to execute is critical in leveling up your game. It's rare that people like accidentally get better at derby. And so it's just one thing to think about is like what I'm sharing with you is actually, it's one thing to do, to think about what I'm sharing with you. It's another to like actually execute it. You know what I mean? So making sure that you're actually executing the things that I'm laying out for you. So what I've done is basically these 6 things are the exact format that you need to level up your laterals, right? But it's going to be up to you to execute. So if you want some help in making like a week by week plan or getting some accountability and support to actually executing this stuff, I'm going to drop a link into the notes for you for a free strategy session. It's a one-on-one strategy session with one of our strategy coaches, and they'll help you get like a plan in place. So they'll basically help you map out like, okay, goals for the next 4 months, and then look at, okay, where are you getting stuck? What's getting in the way? And then they'll also give you some guidance on how to make your goals a reality. So I'm going to drop the link in the comments right now. The link is in the show notes as well. Boom. And that's it. So thank you guys so much for joining us. You know, my mission with these workshops is really to give you quick, actionable steps that you can use right now to level up your game. And my mission with Crash Course is to help level up roller derby worldwide. So, you know, not just so that you can be an athlete now, but so you can be an athlete for the rest of your life. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Can't wait to see you. Would love to see you on a strategy session and can't wait to support you. If there are any topics that you want me to cover that would be super helpful for you as an athlete, please shoot me a DM, leave a note in the comments so that we can build more stuff that gets you where you want to go with your derby game. See you later.